Okay, how's everybody doing this evening? Of course, my name is Kent, and the channel is EOS San Diego. Of course, I make videos about the blockchain, the EOS blockchain, as well as other blockchains. And of course, tonight I got my my badass Marine jacket on, my badass Marine leather jacket. I just got through watching a comment about somebody saying that they liked the beard. They said the beard looked badass. I agree with them, it does look badass. Looks even more badass with the Marine jacket. So anyway, so enough of that. So let's talk a little bit about the markets. And of course, EOS has been doing very well lately. $3.60 up from about $2.50. And just as it may be, we had a challenge here a few days ago where I gave away a bunch of EOS on a challenge application for everybody that sang happy birthday to my son, whose birthday was November 21st. So if you received one of those EOS, you got it free, and it's gone up quite a bit since you got it. So EOS has been doing very, very well. As I predicted, when it was $2.50, I said it was a great purchase, and if you would have purchased it then, you'd have made out very well. Although I do understand a lot of people have purchased it at a much higher price, but believe me, we're going there. So just stay patient. Things are getting much, much, much better. But the reason for this video tonight, and I hope everybody listens closely to this video and about what I'm about to say, because it's very, very, very important. I personally believe that the U.S. government has given up on the dollar. They're no longer being protective of the dollar, the U.S. dollar, and they're no longer doing what they used to do. Basically what the government used to do. And of course you have people there's people out there like Max Kaiser. I know a lot of people are Max Kaiser fans. I've watched Max Kaiser for years. Chase tells me, my son who got me into crypto, claims that Max Kaiser was the one that got him into crypto. And of course Kaiser's been exposing these guys for a long time. Guys like Warren Buffett, who basically get money from the feds for nothing. So in other words, Buffett he owns a number of different corporations. He'll issue corporate bonds, and then he'll sell those bonds, or the bonds will be purchased by the Federal Reserve, which basically means that he's got a funnel of money coming to him from the Federal Reserve. Then when the economy started going bad during COVID, he wanted the feds to come in and bail him out, and they didn't bail him out, and he sold all those airline stocks and went and turned it all to cash and sat on the sidelines. So that's kind of the status quo of the way things have been going for a number of years, clear back since forever. That's how Buffett got to be so wealthy, and that's why a guy like Max Kaiser dislikes Buffett so much, because he's taken the easy road to being very, very wealthy. So what's going on today is they are no longer protecting people like Buffett. They're no longer just issuing money to them through the purchases of their corporate bonds or whatever other things, propping up the stock market. They are literally handing out checks now, stimulus checks, and whatever other government subsidies or support systems you can get. Farmers are getting a lot of money. People are getting unemployment. This money is just absolutely being given out without much, without much restraint. So the money is they're just basically throwing it out there and saying, hey, if you can qualify, you can get some money. And you know why? Just like I'm sitting here today, we got a 10 o'clock curfew here in Carlsbad, or there's basically a 10 o'clock curfew across the entire state of California. So in other words, at 10 o'clock, you no longer are supposed to be out unless it's an essential thing. If you have to go get medications, or if you have need food or something like that, you can be out. But other than that, for just pleasure, you can't be out after 10 o'clock. They're shutting down the economy. They're shutting down because of COVID. The other thing they're doing is they're limiting a lot of activities. And of course, if they limit activities, that means people need a support system. They need a way to support them in place, and that's the government's willing to step in and help you out. They're giving you money, basically, to stay home, or basically they're giving you money because they're fighting COVID, and they're trying to keep the COVID from spreading. So they're just going to throw out the money. So by them doing that, they're literally capitulating on the dollar, and they're just going to basically give everybody a basic income. a UBI, Universal Basic Income. Dan Lammer's talked about this before. A Universal Basic Income, UBI, that basically is just going to be given to everybody. It's kind of a stimulus. It's just kind of a way of keeping the economy going while things are in suspension, or while things are kind of being suspended during COVID. But in the meantime, the dollar is becoming valueless, and they're giving up on it. They're no longer trying to keep it within the hands of a very few select people like Warren Buffett. They're giving it to everybody because it has very little value. So if you're going to get a big stimulus check, a $20,000 stimulus check, it's not going to mean a lot, because in the future that $20,000 is going to buy very, very little. So they're literally saying, here we are, we're going to give you all the money. We're not going to hoard it with a few people anymore and let them, basically trickle it down to a few. We're going to just give it to everybody. And that means they're giving up on the dollar. And what they're going to do is they're going to go to an alternative way of form of currency. What that is, I don't know. I don't know if it's a stable coin. I doubt that it will be Bitcoin. Probably will be something else like that. But they're going to go to some sort of digital currency, and maybe some sort of world currency issued by the World Bank. I don't know. But the U.S. dollar is going down the drain, and it's going fast. And while everybody, and this is why this is an emergency video, and I want everybody to watch this and spread it around, while we're sitting here getting our little stimulus checks, the value of our purchasing power is going south. It's going downhill very quickly. So if you're holding money in a bank, or you hold a pension fund or something like that, that's all going to be worth a lot less in the future. And while we are preoccupied with our little government subsidy checks, the big wealth transfer is happening, and you're being taken to the cleaners, and you're being taken cleaners in a very, very big way. So be careful about that. You've got to find a way to hedge against this. That's why a guy like Michael Saylor is willing to throw $750 million in Bitcoin. You can hedge against things like this with cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin, altcoins. Things like this are going to help to hedge against this massive decline in the purchasing power of our currency. Not only our currency, but the currency around the world. And this is the direction that it's taking. I'm kind of watching who Biden nominates as his Secretary of the Treasury. First, I thought it was going to be this, I think her name is Laurel Brainerd, and she's kind of pro-crypto. She likes cryptocurrency. She's talked very favorably about Bitcoin. Looked like she may be his choice for Secretary of the Treasury, but now it sounds like he's going back to Janet Yellen. Janet Yellen seems like she's a little bit older. She's a little bit out of the loop. She doesn't really understand cryptocurrencies. In the beginning, she just kind of said they didn't have any value, but now she's kind of, sounds like she could possibly start thinking that there's a way to work with cryptocurrencies, and the Feds, the Treasury, to work with cryptocurrencies. We don't know. We don't know what's going to be like. But anyway, keep an eye on who Biden gets as Secretary of the Treasury. The other thing I wanted to let you know that we have Chase, my son, the inventor of the challenge application, which is doing very well. Please go to your iPhone or your Android and go to Challenge EOS on your Android or your Apple phone, and download the app. It's doing really, really well. And like I said, I gave away a bunch of EOS the other day. So if you would have been on the app, you'd have gotten a free EOS, and it's gone up from $2.50 to $3.60, what I just looked at just a second ago. So yeah, you would have gotten a little bit of money for free for doing nothing but singing happy birthday. That's it. And posting it on social media. That's all you would have done. You would have gotten a free EOS. But he's done an AMA, Ask Me Anything. I believe it's on Discord. No, it's on Medium. It's on Medium. So I will post that below. So if you want to learn more about the challenge application, he has did an interview on Medium, and the interview will be posted in the link below in the description. So please check that out and take a look at it. Like I say, you're going to have to hedge yourself right in these times, and don't keep your eye on the stimulus checks and the extended unemployment checks and the government subsidies if you're a farmer or if you're in some other kind of business, the disaster loan or whatever other thing they come up with. It's all diversion for what's really taking place, which is that your money's value is being incredibly eroded. And the only way you can keep that from happening is to put your money someplace that does not go away like it is going to go away if you continue to hold dollars. There's only a few Bitcoin in the world, and there's never going to be any more. And even though I would definitely rather have gold and silver than U.S. dollars, Bitcoin is absolutely the best because Bitcoin is digital, it's transferable, it's easy to move around. It's kind of like having a bicycle versus a Ferrari. I mean, if you want a bicycle, you're going to be pretty limited. That's gold and silver. If you want to be able to go down the freeway at almost 200 miles an hour, you better get Bitcoin because Bitcoin's a Ferrari, gold and silver are bicycles. And I would say silver is a little bit better than gold because silver does have a lot more industrial use. So silver, gold, Bitcoin, all three would be better than the U.S. dollar. But absolutely you have to do something. The days of just doing nothing and thinking that it's all going to turn out well are behind us. You have to make some movement in a direction of trying to preserve your financial wealth, because if you don't do it, it's going to be just taken away from you by an ever-inflated U.S. dollar, and you know that by the way they're just passing out money right now. They're just going to pass it out and pass it out and pass it out and pass it out and pass it out until it absolutely buys nothing. And that has been the way of a lot of inflation, a lot of countries throughout the world, throughout time, throughout history, and of course the U.S. dollar is no different. So I appreciate you watching. Thank you very much.